in July of 2023, I launched a Shopify print-on-demand store completely from scratch. No social following, no viral hacks, just a repeatable system. Now, fast forward to today, and our store has done over $2.3 million in total sales, with $232,000 in just the last 30 days. And the wild part is that the customer journey that made all of this possible hasn't changed since day one. It's this crazy repeatable process that has allowed us to continue to have crazy sales days like today, where we're already over $3,000 in total sales. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through that exact customer journey from the first click of the funnel to the final checkout. We'll do a walkthrough using my demo store that completely mirrors my real one. The only difference is the niche. You'll see the actual layout, you'll see the product designs and how they jump off of the mock-up, and you'll see the marketing funnel that powers our growth. And by the end of this video, you'll walk away with the full playbook, the exact system that we use to go from zero to $2.3 million in sales. So whether you're just getting started or you're already running a Shopify print-on-demand brand, you can take these strategies and immediately implement them into your business, making them your own. So let's dive into exactly how this funnel works. As I mentioned, in the last 30 days alone, my brand did over $232,000 in sales. What's wild is almost nothing has changed since day one. We still use the same layout, the same theme, and the same ad strategy that got us here. Now, let me show you exactly how. The first is by driving traffic to our site. Unlike Etsy and Amazon, on Shopify, you have to drive the traffic yourself. Now, for us, about 95% of our visitors come through paid advertising. There's other ways that you can get people to your site as well, like organic. If you're somebody who's really creative and you enjoy making content, then that would be a way to get people to your site. But for us, the main way that we've done this has been through paid advertising. Now, that paid advertising, most of it comes from Facebook and Instagram. We like to run what's called meta ads, and they're the ads that show up as you're scrolling on Facebook or as you're going through Instagram stories. You'll see them pop up as well. And while we do this, our targeting is broad. So we just open up the targeting to basically everybody, and we let Facebook's algorithm optimize the delivery of who they're showing this ad to, because they've done a ton of work of training their algorithm, and honestly, it's gotten really good. So here's an example of an ad that we ran for our demo store. You'll notice a few different things. You'll see that we like to include eye-catching emojis in the headline that work with the niche, as well as a clean, concise copy. So that's the words at the top. We like to avoid triggering the view more link. So we like to keep all the copy within those first 3 lines of the ad. And as you can see, the sample product mockup is the creative. There's no lifestyle photo. We didn't have to go out and get a model and do a big photo shoot. Nothing like some of these big, massive brands do. And you'll actually see this mockup again as we continue to go through this mirror board. Now, this simple formula, this simple ad, has helped us to scale our brand to over $2.3 million in total sales. We use the sample mockup on our site as the ad, like I said, we'll see it again in a few minutes, to keep the experience seamless. So what they're seeing in the ad is exactly what they're going to see when they land on our site. So besides Facebook and Instagram ads, we also use Google for retargeting. Google ads work a little bit different than Facebook ads, and we primarily use it for retargeting. So if somebody visits our site and doesn't buy, basically Google ads will follow them around on different websites like YouTube, and you'll kind of see them in little blogs and stuff. Like you may see an ad like on the side of a website. And this basically reminds the customer to get them back to finish their purchase. Now, once we've got the traffic, we then send them to our site, because that's the whole goal. Basically finding them on Instagram, finding them on Facebook, finding them on YouTube or across the web, and then getting them to land on our site. So that link will take them directly to our site. Now, traffic from our ads goes directly to our collection page and not the home page. And that reason is because we want the visitor to instantly see multiple designs, not just one or even a few. Typically, the homepage doesn't have a ton of designs. It's usually about 8 to 12 different products versus our collection page. We can show up to 24. So it's better to send them to the collection page so they're seeing multiple designs and not just a few. So here are a few key site features that actually help drive the conversions specifically on our collection page. As you'll see at the top, we have have the free shipping bar. This is where we like to advertise that orders over $75 will get free shipping. This helps to nudge the customers to buy more and increasing our average order value. This is something that has taken people from typically getting maybe 1 to 2 shirt orders to 3, 4, 5 beyond. Now, if your eyes go down and over to the left a little bit, you'll see the 30-day guarantee. Now, I highlighted this because it builds trust, especially if you don't have reviews yet. As you can see on our demo store, we didn't get any reviews because we didn't really run that store for very long. But this is a way that you can build trust with your customer right when they land on your site, because they're going to see that you have a 30-day money-back guarantee, aka, hey, if something happens with your order, we are going to make sure that we take care of it for you. And if we do that, we're then going to get better reviews and people are going to be even happier with us. And then we're going to have so many reviews that then we can plaster it across our site and do something strategic with it, like we have over 500 5-star reviews. So this little line at the top can change over time. Finally, as your eyes go down to the products, you'll see the compare at pricing. This reinforces the message that was in our ad. This is really important because if our ad is saying that we're running some kind of sale or, it's a buy two, get one type of discount, and then they come to our site and that's nowhere to be found, it's pretty much false advertising. One, you could get in trouble for that. And two, it's just going to confuse the heck out of your customer. As far as the product page goes, once somebody has clicked a product that they want to see, we like to keep it really simple. As you can see, we have variant swatches where the update, as you're scrolling through the different colors, it will update the product image to help avoid confusion. The clickable size chart is a link, so you're not going to see some big, huge, massive image on our product page. And the descriptive dropdowns for the washing instructions as well as the return policy help to keep the product page really clean. This is going to help avoid overwhelm for our customer because we're really just giving them all the information that they'd want to potentially see, but it's not just in their face and text just all over the place, overwhelming the customer. Finally, below the add to cart button, you can see we have the shop pay. That I would definitely turn on if you're somebody who is new because it helps to increase people buying off of your site. Or I think there's ways that you can switch it out. You could have it be PayPal as well. If you're a newer site, this is another kind of way to build trust with your customer, because if you're unable to offer these extra payment processors, people can feel a little unsure about that. But PayPal is a known brand. Google Pay is a known brand. So people feel really comfortable and know that, hey, this is a safe and secure checkout. Now, all the way at the bottom, you will see we have a row that's customers also bought, bestsellers, etc. This helps to also increase the average order value the same way that Amazon does. If you are on an Amazon product and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you notice they put their reviews all the way at the possible end of the page. You have to scroll past hundreds of other products. And Amazon does this on purpose because they want you to see those other products. They are basically looking to increase their average order value. So we like to take a page out of Amazon's book. We like to give people lots of options as they scroll down. And then once you start collecting reviews, those reviews can go all the way at the bottom below those like customer also bought collections. From the product page, our whole goal is to have the customer check out. So at this point, it can kind of go one of two ways. They can either check out and complete the purchase, or they can abandon their order. Now, we're going to keep going through the flow as if somebody purchased from us, and then we'll go through what happens if they leave during the checkout portion. So at checkout, just like on the product page, we like to highlight express payment options to help build trust. Again, you see the PayPal trust, you see Venmo, big brands that people know this means a safe and secure checkout. So once somebody has completed the checkout and they give us their email for us to market to them, they then will start receiving emails from us. This is where our flows start to come in. Email flows are based off of triggers, so actions that our customer has done. So one of our flows is a welcome sequence, and it's basically once somebody has checked out from our site, it'll trigger this flow, as you can see, and it'll send multiple emails at different times. So we'll set it for like every other day, they'll get an email. And in this flow, we'll talk about our brand, our message, things that they can expect from us. This flow helps to build trust with the customer. From there, once we've gotten them fully incorporated, they've received their order from us, we can start sending sales campaigns and different offers back to this customer. This turns a one-time buyer into a repeat customer without needing to pay for ads time and time again. Now, this is a great marketing tool because of the fact it is so much cheaper than having to get cold traffic or people from seeing our ad into our site time and time again. Email is so much cheaper, and it's going to actually put more profit in our pocket. So I would say now that we've built up our email over the past 2 years, we have a really big list of people that we can keep marketing to time and time again. This has built up a huge asset and has helped turn people from one-time buyers into 3, 4, 5-time buyers on our site. And that just helps, one, with the profitability, because the fact email is super cheap, as well as the fact is all we're paying for then is pretty much just shipping them the product. So this is truly the unlock when it comes to Shopify versus some of the other marketplaces, because Amazon's not going to let you market to their customers. Etsy, I think there's kind of ways to get around it, but still it's not a part of Etsy's platform. Etsy wants to get people back to the Etsy platform to buy anything from Etsy, because Etsy wins every time someone buys. They're getting the fee. They don't care if they're sending people back to your store. They're caring about just getting people back just in general to buy anything. So now that we've gone through the process of somebody completely checking out and potentially going back through the customer journey through our email marketing, what happens when they don't buy? Now, our conversion rate, or the number of people who check out from our site, is roughly 3 to 4%. This means if I put 100 people on my site, 3 or 4 of them would buy. So most people actually won't buy when they visit my site. And that is completely normal and to be expected. So here's what we do and how we can potentially get people back in the door. We can use a pop-up to collect their emails in exchange for a discount. This is a really great way to increase the likelihood of somebody checking out on your site. And when they give us their email, they're giving us the right to email them and market to them. Cart abandonment, if they had added a t-shirt to their cart and left, and even checkout abandonment. So if they had gotten to the cart, clicked checkout, and they were sitting there on the page pretty much ready to put in their credit card and left. So we can actually set up 3 different flows depending on the action that the customer was taking at that time. We can also retarget these customers with our ads and sending them retargeting Facebook and Google ads. This helps to get people back in the door, and it works a lot better than our normal just regular ads, because this customer has already introduced to our brand. So at that point, they're kind of considered a warm customer because they already know about us. We don't have to basically show them like a brand new ad, etc. So this is the full customer journey that has taken us to $232,000 this past month. It hasn't changed in 2 years because it works. We use a simple site, smart retargeting, and follow up with email. And we focus on trust and ease at every stage of the process. So if you want to check out our demo brand, you can visit www.seasonalcollections.co. I've also linked it in the description below to explore this site yourself. And if you want to go even deeper and download this exact mirror board, as well as get access to 51 plus hours of Shopify training through our free school community, all that is linked in the description below as well. And if you thought that this was helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. It would absolutely mean the world to me. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video.